I had to re-record it. All right, pilots, welcome back to Ready for Pushback. It's a special edition that I'm just like pulling up and throwing this out there to see whoever can watch this, listen to it, and help out. No pomp and circumstance. I'm actually talking to Austin Roth, who is a major airline pilot, also a helicopter pilot, and he is on the ground for Operation Airdrop and Hurricane Helene and all the damage that it did. He's actually standing on the runway in Hickory, North Carolina, doing God's work and helping everybody. And so I wanted to give him an opportunity to have a discussion about what's happening and how people can help. So Austin, over to you, brother.
Yeah, so I was actually called in for a trip. Called in for a trip, flew out Friday, got back, internet cell's not working, power was on at the house. We live kind of the last exit, as I've been telling people, we're the last exit before Armageddon, North Carolina 2024. So if you go just a little bit west of Hickory or north of Hickory, it's really bad. In Hickory itself, a little bit of inconvenience, but I'm a Floridian, so not a big deal. So internet came back on, and there were calls out kind of on the helicopter pilot Facebook group saying, hey, there's people needed down in Hickory. And I was like, man, I'm 15 minutes from there. Fun fact, I live in Granite Falls. Nick grew up in Granite Falls. I moved there not knowing that's where he's from, even though we've been friends for a while. So I'm right down from his hometown. So I got on Facebook and said, hey, I can help, whatever you need. Former Army Black Hawk guy. So they said, hey, there's a lot of civilians that have access to stuff and funds, and there's people showing up with helicopters. What they don't have is a lot of coordination experience, and on the ground, other than flying, they don't have really rotorcraft experience to help coordinate some of that stuff. So I basically walked in the building, and they were like, cool, you're you're air ops now. So I kind of accidentally became in charge of that stuff. And then Operation Airdrop was an organization that started kind of after some of the storms in Alabama a few years back. They've picked it up big time here. They're paying for all the gas. So if you come down here with your own aircraft, that's all getting paid for. I know, I think Franklin Graham gave like 4,000 gallons of gas the other day, direct through that organization. People are making donations. And so if you can see behind me, Nick, I don't know if you can see that okay or not, but there's you're not going to be able to see them all, but kind of over here, this is the kind of makeshift flight line for the helo operations. At any given time, there's around 40 civilian helicopters operating out of here. It's a mix from everything you can imagine. There was a Gazelle that just took off. There's a S-76. There's a bunch of Robinsons. We've got Army Aviation Heritage Foundations flying some Hueys in to do cargo. There's all kinds of stuff. There's aircraft taking off and landing all the time. There's actually a National Guard, this is new, 47 that just landed over there somewhere on the other side of the trees that you can't see. Big operation going on. But if I can just tell people how to help real quick, because there's a lot of kind of fake websites going on and bad information. So first of all, if you're in or around Hickory or in North Carolina, please don't drive to the airfield. So you'll just be in the way. If you have supplies and you really want to drop them off, you can drop them off at Nick's old stopping grounds at Crawdad Stadium. If you just don't know where that is, you can go like you're going to the airfield, you're going to pass the stadium. So just pull off there and drop off your supplies. They're doing okay on stuff for now. The supplies and stuff are okay. The biggest need right now, and probably the biggest way people can help, is just by giving directly to Operation Airdrop. Because that'll help with fuel, that'll help with, they can buy stuff that they need, and kind of keep the operation running. Their website is operation-airdrop.com. So don't get pulled into any of the fake ones. And also, if you're a volunteer pilot, mechanic, if you've got some kind of experience that you think might be helpful and you can come down here for a day or a number of days or whatever, you can also go on the website and get linked up with them that way. So that would be the best way to help right now, especially you airline folks that I know all know. You're looking for places to get away from the tax man. It's a 501c3. You can give to them and take a tax write-off and feel good about yourself and help people out.
All right. So I've heard the best thing you can do is donate money on the operation-airdrop.com. And then I heard if you are in the area and you're within the vicinity of Hickory, do not come to the airport. Go to LP Franz Stadium, FRANZ, just like my middle name, and stop by. Like you find it on Google Maps. Go to the Crawdad Stadium and drop whatever donations you want to drop there. Talk to me talk to me about, you live in proximity to like Fort Bragg and stuff like that. There's a lot of planners. There's a lot of, I used to run a jock in an operations center in Africa, and you've done a lot of operation stuff, joint staff planning, and all that. Do you need planners? Do you need people to help with the operations side of it and sit in the talk, or what do you need to do?
Yeah, if there are people like that that can help run a talk, again, you're mostly dealing with civilians, and so this is not a strike against them at all. It's just very different than what Nick and I talked a little bit via text yesterday. It's not what we're used to necessarily, and it's not. It's just everybody's a victim of their own experience, right? So most people are only going to get to take a swing at this one time. Obviously, when you're talking about a jock or talk operations and military type things, those are professional organizations that do this for a living and practice doing it for a living and do it in the real world all the time. So it's a different level, but we're trying to get them up to speed. We're trying to knock some of the edges off. And considering what they've done and the backgrounds of people that are here and everything, they've done an amazing job. I mean, the number of aircraft that they're able to launch, I think they've done it was close to 500 lifts already, and that was as of the end of yesterday. We've probably already launched another 40 to 60 today. I don't have the current count, but so we'll probably go another at least probably close to 200 today. Um, there are to add to what some of the stuff that's going on here. There you might see behind me every once in a while, dudes with multicam or what looks like military garb. There's a lot of active duty guys that were able to take leave or pass. Some from Fort Bragg, some from other places. I've heard as far away as Dallas, that came through DFW, that were able to somehow talk to their chain of command and get out here that are not necessarily local. Some are, but mostly not. That ended up here, and they're doing stuff like operating as crew chiefs on the flights because some of the LZs, there's nobody. The pilot's got to hold the controls. There's nobody there to offload supplies, and then there's obviously displaced persons that are in all states. Old, young, everything in between, healthy, not healthy, having to take a walk. There's some Air Force guys that were with evac experience that were going as far away as like 3 miles to basically take non-ambulatory patients. That even some of those guys grounded in last night. We're trying to pull them out by air now so we can kind of reinsert them in other places. So there's a job to do here if you have specialization, and you think you can help and you've got time. We can probably get you plugged in. I don't know how long the operation is going to be going on for. That's going to be a matter of just seeing when roads open up and all that other stuff. And once the roads open, that's going to change everything. If you're listening to this and you didn't know, the road situation's a mess. Like, get on. I haven't had a lot of time, obviously, but because I was here till, I don't know, 9 or later last night. But got on YouTube just for a few minutes because now I've got the internet back and a little bit of time, and just looked at some of the devastation. Like, the roads are, in some of these cities, the roads are gone. There's no way in or out. There's not going to be a way in or out for some of these places for a year or two. Absolutely devastated. Talked to a buddy of mine that we were infantry privates together. We made specialists the same month, made corporal the same month. We were team leaders together in Iraq. He said this weekend, he's run his chainsaw for 40 hours. He's siphoning gas out of the non-locals, that's UTVs and stuff, and quads are stuck out there, to keep his chainsaw running. But did 40 hours of chainsaw work. Wife has cancer, is getting cancer treatments. They can't get out. And he's helping, other veterans that he's linked up with out there. They're like, are a little bit suspicious or whatever and don't want to come out of their houses, but he's helped get them out. Like, it's a mess. Don't let, I don't know what the news is saying about it right now. I don't know what people know about it, but things are bad in Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, parts of North Georgia. So just it also should go without saying too, Please pray. If you can't be here, give money, but also pray. There's people acting all the ways that you expect them to act when they get desperate. Hasn't been real bad yet, but I think we're also at that place where people are going to start running out of water, start running out of food, and the desperation is going to get worse. I can't change people's hearts and souls, and money can't do that either. I certainly believe only God can do that. And so please be praying for not only safety for the crews, wisdom for the people that are trying to throw all this together, but then also the people on the ground that they would, just be gracious with each other, and help everybody to be safe. The worst thing we could do is kind of make the situation worse. There has been some limited amount of looting, generally pretty good right now. But like I said, I think it's only going to get worse as some of those isolated people. I mean, there's up to 1,000 people that we've heard of that have come to our call center that are isolated. Like, hey, we got 1,000 people. We're all in this church parking lot, and those kind of situations are going to get bad.
Yeah, if you've never been to Western North Carolina, it's an austere environment. There are very few 4-lane roads, probably 24 in the entire Western North Carolina, like Eastern Tennessee area, like major roads that go through. But after that, it gets real narrow and real like a goat path quick. And people live out there because of that, because of the freedom and the ability to be away, and because of the beauty. And now, like, once you're trapped, once the road washes away, or once everything is completely covered in mud, like, what there's nothing left to do. And so we are kind of on that cusp of this transition zone where things are going to start getting bad quick. So um, our hearts and our prayers are definitely with those families, but for people that can help, any way you can, for the money you can donate, we are in full support of that. And I didn't even bring it up at the beginning. Like, Austin is the president of Break Turn, which is the organization that helps transitioning veterans find opportunities in aviation. And so, I mean, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, yeah. Here's part of the thing is like everybody's on a timeline. Everybody can only be away from work for so long. The wheels have to keep turning at break turn because I've got I'm responsible for people that are trying to do a SCO bridge or trying to transition, and I've got to keep the wheels turning there. So I'm going to be at our tag Friday, Saturday, and probably Sunday, and then Monday I'll be back at it here. So that's where, especially if we've got kind of a common understanding, you guys can get in touch with Nick. Um, maybe Nick, you could help if people send you a message or whatever, rather than me, because I'm just not able to check my phone very often right now.
Yeah.
But if you find anybody that's like, hey, I've got time, I'm off this week, or I can drop a trip or whatever, and I've got that kind of experience that we've discussed a little bit, and I can be there, that would be awesome, because that kind of person would help. And I'm supposed to be trying to find my replacement right now.
Uh, yeah, man. Okay. I'll put this out here in a few minutes, but you can email me podcast@spitfireelite.com. I'll be on that for the, remainder of the week. But if you can affect and you can help, send me a note. I will, I'll consolidate everything. I'll get it to Austin and we'll work back and forth. But I encourage you, go on the Operation Airdrop website, operation underscore or dash
Hyphen dash.
hyphen dash.
I don't know what the difference is. It looks the same to me. Let's go
Got
with
it.
hyphen.
Operation dash airdrop.com. So go
That's
ahead
it.
and make sure you're in the right spot. Dude, thank you. I know it's just your lunch break and you're jumping out here. So thank
Yeah.
you for spending a few minutes. Thank you for telling me about this. And hey, man, it's good to see my hometown airport. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it in 15 years.
Hey,
So
there's big thanks to a few people too. I mean, they're probably never going to see this. Air traffic control has been doing the Lord's work. This is a Tower Airport. This is clearly not, this is irregular operations right now, and they're handling it as best they can. Um, and they've been doing pretty good. I had a fixed wing crash here yesterday. Um, that happened about 12. It was off the runway by 2. So the airport was shut down to fixed wing traffic for a little while. They were able to keep it open for rotary wing, which obviously normally wouldn't happen. Normally the airport would be closed. And yeah, so the ATC's been doing a great job. People coordinating. There's everybody's been doing a great job here. So it's not perfect, but it's working pretty good. So, and God bless everybody that's here volunteering.
Dude, you're awesome. I'm excited to see you this weekend. Thank you
Yeah.
for spending a few minutes. I'll get this published and get it out here in just a second.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for asking if I could do this. I appreciate it.
All right, pal. I'll see you.
See you, man.
Bye. All right, folks. Austin hung up. That's it. Operation-airdrop.com. If you're going to bring things, take it over to the LP Friends Baseball Stadium, the Hickory Crawdads Baseball Stadium. Whatever you can do to help. There's a lot of people and a lot of extremists. If you have specialized operation center skills, then hit me up. But like it's this really delicate balance, right? Of like people that want to help and then not enough. You just kind of getting in the way, right? You want to help, but then you get in the way, and so none of us want to be that person. So just it's a delicate thing. Okay, so stay away from the Hickory Airport. Do go to the Crawdad Stadium if you're in that zone. Donate money, send some prayers. If you want to reach out to me, podcast@spitfireelite.com. Tell me what capability you can bring to the show. And if you feel like you need to show up, tell me and I will pass it to Austin. No promises on anything, but the opportunities and the generosity are always appreciated. Thanks for listening to my show. Thanks for spending a few minutes. We'll see you on Monday.